Welcome back to Good Knit Kisses. I'm your host Kristen, and my friends with allfreeknitting.com and I would like to present you with the decrease on the Youth Hat Loom, which is a 31 peg loom. There are also some new ones out there with 30 pegs, so it actually makes it a little bit easier. What we're going to do is, if you can tell, I've got it in 5 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 6, and then this last section is going to have 7. So if you have a 30 peg loom, then just forget about the 7th one. We're actually not going to even do anything with it. It's not going to really get touched at all, so just kind of pretend it's not there. So let's get started. Okay, so what we've done is we've knitted, this is my beginning row, this is a garter stitch pattern here with a crocheted on edge. I've got it at 7 inches, and what you want to do is make sure that you've got it the length that you want, because the decrease doesn't add much length to it. So if you're ready to cast off, this is the time to do it. It might add maybe a 1/2 inch depending upon your gauge. So what we're going to do is start in the first section, and we're going to move the 2 loop over to the 1 peg, and knit over, and move to the next section, move the 2 to the 1, and continue and go all the way around. And then you're going to wrap all the remaining pegs and then knit off. And join us back for the next section. We have completed that first row where we moved the 2 peg to the 1, then we wrapped and knitted off every peg that was still wrapped, so the empty ones will remain empty. What we want to do is go to the next section, and or go to the first section and take the 4 peg to the 3. So pull the 4 peg off and go to the 3, and make sure when you're wrapping your pegs to not be too tight, and otherwise the decrease is going to be harder. And go ahead and move all the 4s over to the 3s and wrap them, all the remaining pegs, and then come back. Wrap that knit off, wrap that row and knit off. Okay, we finished that row. Now we're going to go from the 6 peg over to the 5, and we're going to wrap those rows after, wrap those pegs and knit off. So you should have every other peg wrapped except for that last 7th one if you have the 31 peg loom. Oops, got mine a little too tight today. Let's just show you what this looks like. Got every other row with the peg, and I've wrapped it. And then this last one, which will be the 7th in this section, has this, it looks like you've got 2 pegs next to each other. Go ahead and knit all these off. And then you're going to do a drawstring cast off. And then you'll be done. Okay, so we're ready to do the cast off on this decreased youth hat, and what we're going to do is wrap around twice our extra yarn and cut it off. I'm going to pull this extra yarn through, and just using one tool, pull it in like a purl under, and then pull this through. See that? Leave it on there. Go to the next one. Grab it from under, pull it up, pull it out. Do this with all the pegs and come back at the end. Okay, so we've done our last peg, and now we want to put this one on the beginning peg that the original working strand came out of. you've got it and you want to now pop them all off. You can use your tool or your fingers, whichever one is easier for you. If it's on there tight, sometimes the tool has to work better. I like to get it with the side of my thumb. I think it just rolls off easier. So by doing this, way you create your hat, it can look like a beanie, like a skull cap. So you see what it looks like before we drawstring it. Now just start pulling. Okay. So you've got your flat top here. Awesome. And add your extra stuff on here, pom-poms, whatever you want to do. Dragon scales, anything. So thank you again, and if you want to see a video on how to weave in the top of this crown, weaving in the drawstring, there is a video on the GoodKnitKisses channel. Thank you again for joining us at GoodKnitKisses and my friends with allfreenitting.com. Happy looming! Thank you for joining us at GoodKnitKisses with my friends at allfreenitting.com. Happy looming!